to the High Vibe Show, living the high vibe life with me, your host, Elisa V. And together with my guests, experts in the art of living in a state of high vibration, we have got an amazing show for you today. My passion is to educate and inspire you to raise your frequency to a high vibrational state. Whether you're an awakened soul to the power of your own consciousness as a light being, or you're new to this spiritual path of expansion and growth, which is made possible through vibrating at a high level, you are in the right place. So stay here to experience fun frequency upgrades now, so you can manifest all you want and help to raise the collective vibration of our wonderful world. Let's hit the restart button and high vibe it together. The High Vibe Show starts now. Hey everyone, welcome to the High Vibe Show. I'm your host, Elisa V. And this is where we talk about how to raise your frequency in order to live in the energy of love, compassion, and abundance. You know, there are so many things that we are always learning about when it comes to the power of our own energy and consciousness and how to control it and how to manifest happier and more fulfilled lives and spread that energy of love in the world. And there was a time when ideas like energy frequency and manifesting were considered woo-woo. And today, I think we're starting to see some changes in that. And the idea of how a lot of these things that once were looked at as a little strange or a little new age are now being proven to be true with real scientific empirical evidence. So today I'm very excited to welcome our guest, Tom Paladino. Tom is a holistic medical expert, scalar energy researcher, and humanitarian based in Florida, and he has developed scalar energy technology to support humanity in many aspects of health and well-being, from longevity and anti-aging to stress and energy management and hormonal balance and nutrition. Welcome, Tom.
Thank you so much. My honor to be here. Thanks, Elisa.
So pleased to have you. So, there are so many things when it comes to this technology that, I want to discuss with you. And unfortunately, we only have 30 minutes on this show today. But for the benefit of our audience, why don't we start with a brief background on you? And if it's okay, then I'll lead you through some questions to enable our listeners to really absorb the science of what your work with scalar energy is all about. How's that sound?
That's great. That's great. We'll speak about the science. And why was I intrigued? As a youngster, I started to read about science, specifically Tesla's science, the great scientist Nikola Tesla. And I realized that this man understood that the energy of the universe originated from the sun and the stars. And I followed up on his work. Stellar activity, the if you will, initial energy that emanates from the sun and the stars, that's scalar light. And that's what I work with. It's not electricity. So this is going back, if you will, to the creation of the universe, in which we work with the first cause, scalar energy. We're going to speak about that during the next 30 minutes.
Okay, great. Now, I sort of have a signature question that I like to ask all my guests, and we're going to, of course, get into a lot of the specifics of what you do. And I don't want to have a spoiler alert, but I know you're going to do some demonstrations too. But I want to know, what is it about what you do that raises your vibration and keeps you committed to doing what you do?
That's a great question. I see the prospect of helping humanity. This technology, Scalar Light technology, offers the world free energy. And with that, there are so many other applications of this energy. So I see the technology, and I see how this will change the world for the better.
Wonderful. That's so amazing. So, and I think it was Nikola Tesla who actually said that if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, it's all about vibration and frequency. I don't know if I'm getting that correct, but I think that was the general gist of what he said. He was so brilliant. Okay, so let's just start. What does you mentioned a little bit about scalar energy, but where does it originate from? Like, can you describe a little bit more about its nature?
Yeah, I firmly believe it's a divine energy, and that the sun and the stars, if you will, are the storehouses of this energy. If you look inside the center of any star, it's incredible activity. And nobody really has been able to understand what drives, what powers a star. It's scalar energy. It's not magnetism. It's not electricity. So scalar energy, scalar light is the first energy, the initial energy of the universe. Electricity is a downgraded form. So if we want to go back to creation, to the cause, we go back to light. Why is this so important? Tesla knew that. Energy, vibration, frequency. That is the cause of nature. So we're not working at the end of the train, we're working at the locomotive, so to speak. We're in the driver's seat with scalar energy.
Okay. And so what I want to know is, before we get into some of the things that you said, that a lot of this can be very healing, and it can, really have wonderful effects on our well-being and our health and hormonal balance and all those good things. Can you explain a little bit about how this works, or, what you do
Sure.
a little bit more?
Sure. Let's say we have this discussion right now through our computers. That's through the electromagnetic spectrum. When I work with my instrument, I work through an image likewise, but through a person's photograph. This instrument behind me is a scalar energy instrument in which I actually print out a photograph and place it inside my instrument. And my instrument is broadcasting scalar light. There's so much scalar light coming off my instrument. This is a scalar light instrument. It will illuminate a light bulb in my hand. So this is my miniature star. And when I work with a person, I download that energy into the photograph. That's a download of perhaps a balancing of brain waves or chakras. So this is the new science in which we don't work with the physical person. We work with their energetic copy. It's so much easier. I don't work at a chemical level. I work at a level of ether, or the level of intelligence. And in so doing, I can access a person through their energy field, what some people call a force field.
So are you telling me, and are we supposed to believe, okay, I'm playing devil's advocate, of course, that with a photograph of someone, that photograph, which we think of as just a flat piece of paper, or,
Right.
just an image on an object,
Yes.
that actually holds within it
Yes.
the light of the person's energy?
Exactly. My soul, mind, and body is found on that photograph. My predecessor, a man by the name of Hieronymus, was working with the Apollo 11 astronauts while they were on the moon. And the photograph of the Apollo 11 astronauts carried their signature, even though they were on the moon. Meaning what? Regardless of the location of a person, the signature remains on the photograph. Now, I can see you. I can see the background in your office. Well, likewise, why can't scalar energy see my image and see the background, see my, if you will, biological constitution, my mental constitution, my spiritual constitution? It can. So what is a photograph? It's the second image of a person. It's a person's bilocated version. You've heard of the term teleportation.
Yes.
I am proving teleportation. People teleport to my laboratory, not physically, through the quantum realm, through their photograph. That is quantum entangling. That's teleportation.
So I guess the best way that this can make sense to me is, I've heard stories of experiments where mother rabbits were separated from their babies,
Yes.
miles and miles away, continents, whatever. And even though they weren't together physically, when they, unfortunately, it breaks my heart, but if they killed one of the babies, the mother had a very strong reaction all those miles away.
Yes.
That there was some kind of invisible
Yes.
to our human eye, string or energy field that connected them. So in the same way, you're saying that the photograph
Yes.
holds the same energy. And
Yes.
it's I think it's a very hard concept for people to understand, even, those of us like us that are awake, to grasp just how much power, our energy field has, even when it defies sort of logic of what we've been taught to understand with our five senses.
That's a brilliant analogy. Some people call that quantum entanglement, in which two objects separated at a distance can communicate instantaneously.
Yeah.
That's what some people call woman's intuition, or somebody says that's a gut feeling. Others might say, well, I have a premonition of the future. Or some people can actually see a future event, or deja vu. This is the information of the universe that we're tapping into. This is an information instrument. And regardless of where a person is, if I have their photograph, their information, their signature is on the photograph. This is a new branch of physics. Tesla discovered this branch of physics. I am following up on it. To be very clear, it's not the physical electromagnetic realm. This is non-physical consciousness or intelligence. So we're looking at two different aspects here. The electromagnetic realm is fine. I don't work there. I work in the ether, in the aura.
Okay. So explain a little bit, like I see your machinery back there. You did that really wonderful demonstration with the
Yeah.
light bulb, which is incredible. But, how does that, at the
Uh,
risk of sounding silly, how does that take that energy,
yeah.
from the photograph, let's say, and then transmute it, or, do its thing to help these people that are photographed?
Okay, so this is the scalar energy instrument. You'll notice there's no moving parts because the kinetic energy is from the stars. And then the energy is broadcast from that Tesla coil. Now, how does this work? Well, let me use this analogy once again. We're speaking through a computer. How does that work? Your image and my image are sharing during this conversation. Now, in, in practice, let's say I wanted to work with a person and that person said, Tom, provide a microbial scan. How would I do that? I would take a person's photograph in practice now and take photographs, magnified photographs of germs, microbes, and place them in the instrument side by side, my photograph. So if I did that, that arrangement would would be a communication, just like the mother rabbit can communicate with her offspring. I can communicate with these two force fields. If I had streptococcus, a common bacterium, this process would identify streptococcus and eradicate it, remove it. So working through a force field, two photographs can communicate, just as two people can communicate at a distance. This is a fail-safe procedure because there's no human intervention, there's no human reasoning. A photograph of a bacterium communicates with my force field. It's fail-safe. It's, if you will, guaranteed.
So Tesla discovered this,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
and this technology, if you will, or this knowledge, I don't want to call it technology, but this knowledge, this universal knowledge has been there. And it's sort of, did it lie dormant in a sense until your predecessor that you were describing before, the doctor, and you
Yeah.
decided to pick up on it?
Yes, it was dormant, and for various reasons. Number one, it's poorly understood, but secondly, it's suppressed technology.
Mm-hmm.
Now, keep in mind, if I can take a light bulb and illuminate it without the need of oil or gasoline, that's a threat to some. So
Yeah.
this is free energy. These are free energy devices. When I work with people around the world, I could easily work with thousands of people by way of their photograph. I don't need satellites. I don't need a substation. I don't need an induction motor. The universe is the infrastructure. There's a free infrastructure. So this is free energy with a free infrastructure. We don't need the electromagnetic grid, is what I'm telling you.
Right.
And with that in mind, it's some people consider that a threat.
Yeah. Well, on my show, I've had numerous guests in different fields, if you will, where those threats come up, whether it's in the health field and
Yep.
so there's a lot of suppressed technology in so many areas that can make money for,
Right.
in those areas, and they don't want this to come out. Um, we um we have a little, we have about 10 minutes left. I wanted to ask you just to kind of clarify. So with the device, what it's doing in, I guess, layman's term, it's there's something about it or the coils that harness this star energy or this energy from the stars.
Yes, this is a capacitor of scalar energy. That's correct. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So that energy is there, that light
Yes.
energy is there, and this is like harnessing it or bringing it into
Yes.
the
Yes.
ability for you to utilize in.
Exactly. This is a
Okay.
local scalar energy environment, so it's star-like in my laboratory. This is a miniature star, and I can feel that energy on my back right now.
Really? And
Yeah.
and what does it feel like? What physically?
Little tingling. It's
Ting.
always a surge of energy. Anytime I'm in my laboratory, my spirits are uplifted. It's a surge of life force energy, and it usually makes you happier. I'm usually very happy in my lab.
Yeah. Oh, this is so amazing. Okay, so another question I have for you is you mentioned how this can balance the chakras. Now, for anyone who's not aware, our chakras are the different energy points in our body, and many believe, and it's been proven that when they're in balance, or that
Yes.
brings balance to our entire existence, spiritually,
Yes.
physically, and many would argue that if we do have some kind of physical ailment or an emotional ailment, it's usually, because some of our energy is out of, it's not in alignment. So
Yes.
how does this now,
That's brilliant.
translate?
That's brilliant. I'm going to show the audience a photograph. This is a photograph, a time-lapse photograph of a scalar wave. You see it's a double helix. It looks just like
Yes.
DNA.
Yes.
When I'm working with this energy, it automatically balances my chakras. Now, it's a linear wave. We look at the line of chakras, those are spinning vortices, just like this is a spinning vortice. So when I place a person's photograph inside the instrument, it automatically balances their chakras. A chakra is composed of a scalar wave. It's a spinning vortex, 7 spinning vortices, and scalar waves are always spinning vortices. So like acts upon like. Automatically, I work with people for 1 hour with this brain balancing, the chakra balancing. People are uplifted. After 1 hour, people feel a surge of energy and they're happy because the scalar wave automatically balances our 7 chakras.
So if let's just take a hypothetical. If I sent you a photograph of myself and you have no knowledge of what's wrong with me, or,
Correct.
maybe I'm anxious or depressed, maybe I have, digestive issues, or,
Yes.
I have, something with my muscles. Unbeknownst to me, are you saying that if you did this and you put it, with the scalar light energy, that I might experience something, or not even
Yes.
realize I'm experiencing some kind of uplift or balancing?
Yes, that's a very quiddity of the matter. I never diagnosed. This is not a medical device. I'm not a medical professional. The energy automatically will deduce what your photographic force field needs. You see, when you're working with energy, it's all encompassing. The energy knows what you need. The energy corrects the force field. There's no human interpretation, there's no human reasoning, hence, there's no room for human error. The energy is perfect. Why not work with perfect energy? You'll have perfect results.
Yeah. So here's a kind of a silly question, but let's say somebody sends you, they want to do this, but let's say they have, I'll just use an example, diabetes, for example, and they're on all kinds of they're on different medications. How would they know they were healed
Mhm.
versus, well, it's the medication that's healing me, or
Yeah,
making me
good,
not have symptoms?
good question. They don't. They don't. All I can rely upon are testimonies from people, and those testimonies really cannot prove whether this has been effective or not. Some people believe it has been, but to be very clear, I'm the only one in the world with this type of instrument. Nobody's ever duplicated my results. So
Okay.
I have no peers. I cannot prove this from a scientific standpoint. It has never been proven by rigorous scientific examination. It's a new science.
Okay. Okay. And this would be considered in the realm, if you will, of quantum,
Yes,
the quantum. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
quantum, because it's non-physical. Very good. There's no electrons involved in my work, no protons. It's all non-physical intelligence. Yes.
Yeah. And I feel confident, in many ways, like that we are, as a society, that there's an awakening that's happening and that people are becoming more in touch and feeling, the energy and raising vibration, all that good stuff. So I think the timing of where you are right now is really like on the precipice of,
Right.
being able to just educate people about this.
I agree.
I want to know, how do people, tell me a little bit about how people can get in touch with you,
Yeah.
and also
Right.
if you have any, kind of offer, for my listeners today.
Okay. So since this is a groundbreaking, I give away 15 days of free sessions. Anybody can go to the website. You're going to email us your photograph. The website is scalarlight.com, SCALAR, scalarlight.com. For 15 days, we will balance your chakras, as I've mentioned. The instrument for 1 hour a day will balance your chakras. For the second hour of the day, we will look for pathogens, toxins. We'll look for and eradicate bacteria, fungi, and viruses. And then for the rest of the day, the remaining part of the day, we will download nutrients. We have the ability to download the energy of beta carotene into your force field. Now, keep in mind, this is not chemical. All of my work is non-physical. So this is how I receive my nutrients, through photographs of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. I don't take a multivitamin. I receive energetically my vitamins in my force field. All of my work is in the aura, which is the force field. Medical science does not recognize the force field.
Yeah. Oh, this is so amazing. So does your work, and we're really cutting it close now, but so in this 15 days, so is that what typically people should do? It should go over a 15-day
Yes,
period to have the
yes.
most. Okay. All right. This is so fascinating, Tom. I mean,
Thank you.
I definitely want to have you back on again and maybe get a little deeper into some of this, or, maybe even have some, examples of people like before and after, if you would,
Please.
just to
Yes.
show people. But thank you. So your website is scalarlight.com. Please, please get in touch and, uh, let Tom see how he can take a look at your photographs and bring you some wellness and health. Again, I want to thank you, and to my audience, I look forward to hearing from you and getting some feedback on today's show, which I found so fascinating. Remember, you can follow me on my website, hittingtherestartbutton.com, and you can also follow me on Instagram. So till next time, Tom, again, thank you so much. Thank you for your time. This was fantastic.
Thank you. Enjoyed myself.
You've been listening to The High Vibe Show, living the high vibe life. I'm your host, Elisa V, the Queen of High Vibe. Join us every first and third Monday of the month at 9:30 Pacific, 12:30 Eastern on Transformation Talk Radio. This is the place to come for you to have loads of fun, frequency upgrades now, and have great guests to hear all about raising your frequency. For more information, visit hittingtherestartbutton.com. See you next time.